Hello and welcome to another DJ Force 10 in Conversation podcast. This is episode 131 and my special guest today is Ivan. He is the front man from the French metal outfit Disconnected. We had to take a few attempts to get this one right because we were having issues actually sort of getting connected, bizarrely. And then during the interview it almost got disconnected, if you excuse the pun. But yeah, no, we got it done. I really wanted to speak to this band, really digging their music. They've got an album out a couple of years ago called White Colossus. They've just released a new single called Unstoppable. This is going to be from their new album that isn't due out till next year now. But it was an absolute pleasure to speak to Ivan, and all the way over in France and everything. I love this sort of international thing that we're doing here. But yeah, no, it was a great interview. Really appreciate his time and really aligned with some of the sort of work ethic that he has for his band and everything. And they've done so much in the sort of the last sort of 2 years and stuff of like getting on these tours and getting all the exposure and everything. And this album, from the tracks that I've heard and stuff, it's gonna be proper good, I think, coming out of that area of the world. But yeah, again, thank you for downloading these episodes and everything like that. I'm going to do my sort of like semi-daily plea to get some reviews on your chosen platform of podcasting. I really appreciate some scores, some... get some ratings on there and everything. But it's been really fun doing this. Got loads more to do. Booking bands sort of every day. Like I said, I've got I think I said in the previous one, I've got a couple of DJ shows coming up. Like interviewing DJs, not me DJing. But yeah, no, that's going to be cool as well because I really wanted to sort of explore that side of my hobby or passion, if you will. But yeah, looking forward to those and looking forward to booking a few more of those just to sort of get, try and maybe get a series out of them, which is kind of cool. But yeah, if you're enjoying it, let us know. Go check out these bands. Let me know if you're digging them, stuff like that, because feedback always helps. But any band I have on this show, generally I like because I wouldn't have them on here otherwise, just purely because I can't talk to someone if I don't, get their sort of art that they put out. But no, thankfully there's so much good music out right now, and it's great at this time. And it's great anytime, to be honest, like music and everything. But yes, I'm rambling. I've got nothing else left to say. So here we go. This is Ivan from Disconnected. Enjoy. I'd like to introduce Ivan to the show today from the band Disconnected. Welcome, Ivan.
Thank you, man. Very happy to be with you guys. Thanks for contacting me, getting in touch. It's cool.
Not a problem at all. I'm glad I came across you guys because it's I'm really enjoying your music. I heard the new single, was it Unstoppable? And I sort of like I got the opportunity to obviously speak to you, but I went back and listened to White Colossus that you released a couple of years back, and I really loved the song. Is it Blame Shifter?
Blame Shifter. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I really like that song. So no, I just went back. That's why I was eager to speak to you guys because and like looking at what you've done so far in such a short time, it's been pretty amazing. So, if you don't mind, can we just start from the beginning, like basically just sort of catch up on the journey so far of Disconnected?
Yeah, of course. The band was created back in 2012 by Adrian, the lead guitarist of the band, and he's also creating all the music, for the band, and I am creating the vocal lines and the lyrics, writing those. So he was struggling for probably something like 4 years because he couldn't really find the right lineup for the band because, he's a very talented musician and is a very, very good player as well. And so he was struggling to find the right people to play his music. So he's been going from one lineup to another one. And we got introduced probably by the end of 2016. And then I got very interested about his project, and he sent me some backing tracks and stuff. And So we started like that, and step by step we built a relationship, like of working and writing songs together, and like formed the band, and everything was really settled. Probably just before going on tour with Tremonti. So September 2018, the band was what it is today, and it's the perfect lineup for us. So far, that's what happened.
Yeah, cool. I mean, like I said, I say it's a relatively short amount of time, but like that, since the sort of 2018 mark, you've kind of really kicked into gear. Obviously, everything's kind of paused right now, but like you mentioned, you went on tour with Tremonti, and you played with like
the Raven Age,
as
well.
Yeah, the Raven Age, and you played with like Judas Priest and stuff like that on things on there. And what's that like? That kind of like, obviously I know you've been with them since like 2016, but that kind of the last sort of like 2 years, how's that been for you?
It's been like very, very busy, especially for myself and Adrian, because we also self-manage the band. We are the producers of the albums as well. So we do. It's a totally do-it-yourself type of band. We started from scratch basically, and so it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to try and first of all do good music. Then after being able to produce it, then after it's shitloads of work to get in contact with the right people, try to convince them that like you can be good on stage as well and tour with them, and we are pretty much working every day for this band for 3 years now with on a daily basis contact. There is always something to do and to fix for the band. Like for example, when we went on tour with Tremonti, I was doing the tour management for the band as well.
Yeah,
totally improvised. That's because I've never been doing a tour like this. Like throughout all of Europe, and I'm the only one who can like speak a pretty decent English. So I was the one like to have to do all the the Americans and the English guys. And it all went very well between all of us, but it's a lot of work, and when you go to a gig, for example, I can't just wait for my sound check and then after do fuck all and drink a beer and running everywhere doing my shows. Then after going to the merch and like doing shitloads. But it's really cool because I mean we really feel that we deserve a lot, everything that happened to us, because we've been working so hard by ourselves, and we never let anybody tell us that we couldn't do this or that, and we just went for it and keep pushing and pushing and pushing every day, and now we start to be surrounded by more professional companies and stuff like that. So I'm really eager for this fucking like virus period to come to an end, because I just want to go back on stage and with those new assets that we have, and just like be able to do some stuff on a larger scale.
Yeah, no, exactly. I just have to say, I totally basically align with you when it comes to that self-management thing. I was in a band for a good 10 years and we were very self-contained.
Oh, great.
And I did everything that you just mentioned. So I was doing the booking, I was doing the managing, I was talking to all these people, and I know exactly the kind of like mentality you have to be in, and it's so hard, especially to keep it up and perform as well. It is, and you've got to like separate the business from the passion as well, which is one part I sort of found. Obviously you can put it into it, but it's also you've got to be able to remove it, because some people are going to say no, and you've got to, you need to be a different character at different times, like you just said, when we were going to gigs and I have to start to talk, for example, with the promoter of the event, for example, I was dealing on daily basis with the guys from Live Nation and whatsoever, so you have to be that guy who's trying to defend the position of an opening act, and you can't ask for too many stuff, but you have to like make sure that your guys they will have what's
the basic needs, like in the dressing room, like water and stuff like that. And sometimes you have to fight for that,
Yeah.
And I have to say, especially in England, guys, like your crowds are fucking fantastic. But how many times have we come in venues in England that you just have a like a package of crisps with 2 bottles of water for 7 people, in your dressing room.
Yeah.
So you have to keep harassing people to have what you need, and then just after that, you need to become that artist that is going on stage, and you have to be the front man of the band and perform and whatever. And it's a lot of different things to do, and I really love it. But when the evening is finished and you can go back to your bus, it's not taking a long time for me to go to sleep after all that.
No, I found exactly the same thing. And riders in this country, they're not great. It depends. You've got to fight for what you need, like you said.
No, I'm not complaining, because I know pretty well England, because I used to be even married with an English girl, like for 10 years. So that's why I've got a decent English, so that I've been decent for a French guy, because lots of French people, they can't speak English at all.
Yeah, no, it's
so
yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I know what it's like, and I really enjoy going to the UK and perform, like for all the people that we've been performing to over there. I remember precisely all the shows in Nottingham, Bristol, Manchester, London. I was fucking amazing, like the crowds were amazing, but it's just a question of, like sometimes what you've got in your dressing room and stuff, but you get used to it. You're not there, like to have a posh dinner, you're there to kick ass on stage. That's it.
Yep. No, again, very true. Very true. And I was quite fortunate when I was in the band to actually go over to France myself as well. We didn't actually play over there, unfortunately. It was one of the European countries we didn't play in for some reason. But no, I did an interview with, is it Rock Hard magazine?
Rock Hard magazine, yeah.
Yeah, it was. This was like this. I'm saying this is probably about 15 years ago now-ish.
Okay.
But
what was the name of your band? What was the name of your band?
We were called Zero Cipher.
Right. I've heard that name. I've heard that name.
Okay, good. That's
good. Yeah. Zero Cipher. Yeah.
But yeah, no,
I do.
We did all right. Like I said, we managed to play a few European countries and stuff like that, and tour and release a couple of albums. But like I say, we're all self-contained. We're very DIY. Produce ourselves, manage ourselves, and then we once had a label that actually did some things for us. But then the other we released two off our own back, and then one was financed by a label. But yeah, no, it's like that gigging stuff. That's the bit that really kind of like you say, at the end of the day, you just fall asleep. You don't have any trouble just like collapsing into the bus or wherever you were sleeping that night. But yeah, no, it was cool, and I totally sort of get the sort of like the workflow that you've got to go through, because it is like a lot of people don't realize the sort of ins and outs. They think, you just got to do this and this, but
it's like it's mind breaking when it doesn't work for your band, like, because I've had previous bands and I was doing basically the same stuff and nothing was going through, and it's very, like frustrating to think of all the amount of hours I've been putting in that band and nothing is really happening, and we're just playing shitty holes and stuff like that. But when you succeed a little bit, or when you've got some results, it's very rewarding to being able to do all that stuff and see that hard work pays off, So it is what it is, It depends of the band. It depends of when you come out, when, like the general situation with the business and everything. It has a lot to do with the luck as well, who you meet at what time, the right person at the right time. We all say the same,
Yeah, no, it's exactly true. Where would you say your sort of like with the band itself? Where do you get your sort of like sound from? What's your sort of background when it comes to the music side of things?
It's maybe it's a mix of different stuff. Like in our presentation, we always say that we are a mix of probably Alter Bridge and Deftones and Gojira, for example, because we've got that pretty aggressive type of riffs and growls or screams, a bit in the Gojira style sometimes, rhythmically as well.
Yeah.
But we always also have that very ambient type of stuff like Deftones and the very catchy choruses sometimes as well with Alter Bridge. I mean, Adrian and I, we are huge fans of Mark Tremonti way before touring with him anyway. We're big fans of Alter Bridge and his solo project. As I'm a lot older than my guys, I was raised on the 90s, like type of metal. So yeah. I'm a big fan of Pantera, Faith No More, Metallica,
nice,
Korn, all that stuff, and Adrian and the other guys, they're more, like listening a lot of progressive music as well with some stuff like Dream Theater or, like Periphery as well. They love Architects as well. Great band. A lot of different stuff, Avenged Sevenfold, whatever, it's a mix of lots of different stuff, what we do. But I'll say mainly, like Alter Bridge, Gojira, and Deftones. I think it gives a pretty good idea of what we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely hear those sort of styles in there. Like you say, like the sort of 90s sort of stuff as well. It's got that kind of groove to it on your music. So how like with your first album, I think we mentioned it earlier, the White Colossus. How was that received generally? I mean, I really like it. I was like, because obviously I got sent the new single to me, and like I said, I went back and I listened to it.
That's great.
How was that received for you guys? Because this was the first time I'd actually heard of you. And normally I've usually got my ear to the ground pretty well, but you must have just skipped past. But it's a really good album. How did it do?
Yeah. I mean, that first album, first of all, we just did some promotion in France, because, like with the money we could involve in the band at that moment, I wasn't that committed to that band at that moment. Adrian produced on his own the first album, the first video clip as well. So I mean, it was also I don't remember participating in paying the first promotion, but whatever. We just did some good promotion in France, and then after, our goal was to try and get on tour with an international band and do a European tour. To make ourselves, known from other people. So basically, the first time you would have some reviews of Disconnected in England, for example, would be some live reports back in December 2018, probably,
Yeah.
So basically what happened with that new album is that we involved more money, and we've been employing different PR agencies in Europe and in the US as well. So it's we do it on a much larger scale at the moment.
Okay, no, that's really cool. I was really, like I said, if you just kept it to France, that's probably why I didn't really hear from you. But no,
we couldn't.
It's basically something I would have really digged, and I found it now, and I really dig it now, so it's all good. But
cool.
I'm really looking forward to your next album, which is I know it's not due out probably till next year now. Is that correct?
Yeah. Unfortunately, it was. We thought that the first plan for us was to release it probably in October 2020, but it's not going to happen because we were cut short while we were recording the album, so we haven't finished it yet, to record it. The album, I mean, the songs are finished. We've got the definite track list and everything, but we just have the drums in, for the moment. So we still have to do all the rest, and we have to wait the moment we're going to be able to travel again freely in France and go back in the studio to do this. Yeah.
Cool. So what can we expect from the new album compared to the first one?
I think that first of all, the production is way better. I don't know if you feel like it, listening to that new single, Unstoppable. I mean, the production is better. I mean, it's especially the sound of the drums. We don't have the same drummer as well.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean the production is a lot better in my opinion. And then I would say that there's going to be a good part of the album which is going to be a bit more accessible for a larger audience, like with lot more of very catchy choruses, but it's still going to be very aggressive, and you will still have some songs with different layers, a bit more complicated, a bit genty, so to say, Cool. So I think it's going to be a great album. I mean, we are very confident that this is gonna do very well for us. We are very, very happy of the songs, and we just can't wait to finish to record it and to release it.
Nice,
really.
Nice. I mean, you got a single out right now. It's called Unstoppable. That was the first track I ever heard of you guys, and I really liked it. You got a video as well, which you managed to shoot before the whole world shut down.
Cool, man.
How has that been like trying to promote something like that during this lockdown?
So the story behind that is we thought, first of all, when this all went mayhem, that it was not a good idea to release the song, because we thought, well, maybe all the medias, they're just gonna talk about what's happening with that. We started to discuss about that with especially with the US PR agent Tom George from Tag Publicity.
Oh, yeah.
And he convinced us of the opposite. He said, no, guys, that song is great, and it's the perfect time for a band like you to release a song, because everybody's going to be stuck at home, everybody's going to be on their computers and cell phones and stuff like that, and they're going to be very bored, and it's going to be great for them to listen to new stuff, and especially for up and coming bands, you should do it 100%. And we follow that advice, and it was great, because it's been doing great for us. So
yeah,
very, very happy to have done that. Yeah.
No, that's really cool. I mean, I like Tom. I've known Tom for a few years.
Do you know him? Yeah, he's great. Him and Tracy.
Him and Tracy. I used to live over in Florida, and I used to run radio stuff from there, and that's how I got in contact with them generally, because they're an American PR agent. So, but they, we still stay in contact. They send me stuff still and all that kind of stuff. And I did realize I went through my emails around the sort of same time as I got it from Incendia. They were sending out as well. I just typed in your name into my search engine, and you came up twice. So, I missed it with Tom. But
you said I have to do that guy. Yeah, I have to do it for that guy.
Yeah. No, it's. I mean, I've had a few of his bands on my show, and I'm starting to get more of Incendia, Lulu's, and Luke's ones coming in on the show now. Obviously, being in the UK, it kind of makes sense to use the UK press side of things. But no, Tom, I love Tom. He's a good guy. He's But I was just because I've spoken to a few bands during this lockdown type thing that's going on around the world, and it's just curious to see how you guys are sort of promoting stuff. Are you doing anything online with your social media or anything like that?
I mean, we haven't done any Q&A or stuff like that for the moment, because I don't know if. I don't know if we are big enough, to have, enough people coming and asking questions and stuff like that. I mean, we still need to wait a little bit for that kind of stuff. On my side, though, I've been doing a lot of, filming myself, doing some covers and stuff like that to keep people entertained and stuff like that, and we've been pretty busy for a good 3 weeks with the release of Unstoppable, and we had a lot to do as well, with the Spotify, to get on playlists and stuff like that, and it went very well for us as well. The song is very well streamed as well.
Cool.
The video clip on YouTube is doing pretty well, but it's. I don't know. It's difficult as well. Always staying at home like that and organize those kind of things for me as well, because I've got a kid. He's 4.5 years old.
Yep.
And so I have to take care a lot, for him, and do the teacher at home on top of being a manager, a singer, songwriter, whatever,
Yeah, I know exactly. So, I'm homeschooling my kids at the moment as well, so it's all fun.
Yeah, it's but it would be, maybe it would be nice, but maybe we've been a bit shy on that, like thinking that maybe, like we were a bit, too small to interest lots of people to come and chat with us. Maybe it's a mistake, but I mean, this is something I'm thinking about, like for days and days. So we'll see.
I don't think anything will be too late at this point, because a lot of people are always looking for content. So, I'm doing this as part of my sort of like daily thing. I'm interviewing guys like yourself and actually releasing the shows daily as well. So, and like just giving people like content to listen to kind of distract them, just for that moment.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
But Ivan, I've got a couple of questions left for you, and then I can let you get on with the rest of your evening. But yeah, what I want to find out is this is more just about yourself. I want to find out your top 3 albums that have kind of the ones that really kind of like influenced you in the musician that you became. So the ones that the album that made you want to pick up the microphone and sing, kind of thing.
I would say that the first album that really make me pick up a microphone, because I was a guitarist previous to being a singer, is definitely Vulgar Display of Power from Pantera.
Excellent.
Yeah, I mean, Phil Anselmo is a huge influence on me, and that album, it's a killer album. I mean, it's gonna go on for decades, it's so powerful, and I love everything about it, So I would say this one. I would say I would say probably the Black Album from Metallica.
Nice.
And I would say King for a Day from Faith No More.
Nice. Those are 3 very solid albums.
Those 3.
All kind of my era as well, so that's all good.
Yeah, they are, and solid singers as well. Yeah,
exactly.
Great singers as well.
That's one of my favorite Faith No More albums as well, actually, the King for a Day.
Yeah, this album is fantastic.
Yeah, no, it's great. And finally, what are your hobbies away from music? So when you're not doing the band thing in its entirety, what sort of like hobbies do you do to sort of like, either get away from?
I don't have any time. I don't have any time left for anything else.
I was going to say it's probably a silly question.
No, I'm joking. I mean, I enjoy a lot of sports. I used to be a lot of sport when I was a kid, and I try to stay in shape, especially for that type of music, and the aggressiveness and the energy that you have to provide for an audience. I still try and keep in shape. So I do a lot of running. I do some like lifting weights as well, and in general, I love to watch films or, like series and stuff like that. So, like very, like very usual type of hobbies.
Yeah. No, exactly. What are your sort of favorite films at the moment?
Yeah. At the moment, well, I've been, what have I been watching lately? I've been rewatching the series Vikings. I really dig that series, yeah. And I've been rewatching as well an American series that I really love. It's I don't know if you've heard of it, Banshee. Do you know that one?
I don't think I've seen it. No.
Banshee. Wow, it's a very nice one. It's spelled BANSHEE. It's the name of a little town in the US.
Yeah.
And there's check that out. I mean, it's a great scenario, and the actors are fantastic, and there's a lot of everything that a metal guy should like.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Alcohol, booze, sex, and violence.
That sounds perfect. Cool. Well, Ivan, thank you very much for your time, mate. I do appreciate it. I'm glad.
Thank you so much, man, for having me.
This done and everything, because I've been looking forward to chatting with you, so it's all good. But yeah, no, thank you very much. Good luck with everything that's going on. Obviously, stay well during this time, and I hope you and your family and everything are all good. Yeah, awesome, man. Thank you so much for having me. Big hello to all your audience and to everybody. Stay safe, stay home, and watch Unstoppable and listen to Unstoppable on a daily basis. Yes, do it. Leave it on repeat in the background. All right. Cool. Exactly. Cool. Ivan, thanks very much, man. Yeah, thank you, mate. Have a good day. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Yeah, you too. Bye-bye.